Aeneid, Book 1, 418 to 440. So, faithful Achates and Aeneas have traveled to try and find the fleet, where, as we've seen in the English, they meet up with Mom, dressed up in the form of a huntress like Diana, and she reveals to them the story of Dido and the Carthaginians coming from Tyre, who are setting up their city. And of course, then Venus reveals herself and immediately goes away like a abandoning mother that she is. And Aeneas is all upset at Venus. And you have a great fitting scene of family dysfunction for even the gods. But we continue on. Meanwhile, they corriborant, a syncopated form, they seized the way where the path was showing. And now they were ascending the hill, which imminet hangs over, compound verb takes the dative, the city, which very highly hangs over the city, and it looks to the adversus arches above, the opposing citadels from above. Aeneas admires the mass. Well, he hasn't done anything yet, so he's pretty impressed. Once Megalia cottages. Now he admires the gates. Notice the muratur found there as anaphora, and the strepitum, the din and the uproar, and the strata of the streets, the pavements of the streets. So Aeneas, like a good Roman, is always looking into a good paving job. Ardentes, burning, the Tyrians instat, hasten, they are active. Part, to form the walls, and to molior, to construct the citadel. That's where you went when it was trouble. And to subvolvere, to overturn the rocks with their hands. So they're excited to do some serious work. Part, to fit the place with a roof, and to concludere, also the infinitive, to enclose it with a trench. So a good foundation has to be entrenched first. So they talk about roof, and then they talk about trench, which is kind of cool. It's hysteron, proteron. Beginning, you mix up the order. They legant, they choose laws and magistrates, and a sacred senatum. This is all Roman, of course, the Carthaginians, but it does show that Aeneas, who's wanting to found a city, and we see he's designed to found a city, he was almost close to founding a city in Italy and then got swept off, and now he's in Libya. Here, Ali and Ali, some effudiant, dig out their harbors, accusative neuter plural. Here, others locate their deep foundations, dative of purpose for the theaters, and they excidiant hew out huge columns, ablative sorporation phrase, from the X, from the rocks, namely appositional phrase, lofty decorations, dative of purpose or reference for future scenes. The labor is such, notice there's an est, is such as the apis, the bee, exercises in new summer through the rural flowers, through the flowery fields, actually the flowery rural areas under the sun. So the Carthage, we have a nice qualis, a nice simile here, referring to bees. When they ecudant, when they lead forth their full-grown fetus, offspring of their family, or when they stipant, they condense the liquentia mela, the liquid honey, and they distendant, they distend or push out the cells with their sweet nectar. So they're very busy and industrious, these bees, and so are the Carthaginians. And they receive the burdens of the ones coming in. So they take the nectar in of the bees coming in, Or ablative means ablative absolute with a battle line. Again, a battle line having been formed. They arcant. They drive out the drones, the lazy flock from their hives. So this is again Virgil saying that people are lazy and stupid. The work glows, fervence, is hot, and the fragrant honey is odorous, is redolent with thyme. And so Aeneas says, "Oh, fortunate people whose walls now surge," and he's Scipient. He looks at the heights, the fastigia of the city. Having been fenced with ablative means phrase or cause with a cloud, he carries himself, and we have a supine here, with miraculous in the saying. This is a neuter singular, in the saying, or miraculous to be said, through the middle of the people, and he mingles ablative object phrase, mingles with the men, and neither is perceived by any. It's an agent phrase without the ob. So Virgil paints Aeneas now coming to a city, not his own city, another city, but not just a city. It's the city of the Carthaginians, who were the number one enemies for the Punic Wars, number one, number two, number three. It is it is nothing but a foreshadowing that this is not going to turn out well. But here, before the trouble starts, we see Aeneas so excited by the city that's happening across the ocean or the sea from him, so excited by the all the building and the pavement of the streets, showing his good Roman urbanization plan. But it is a question of where will the fates lead him. So what will happen in Carthage? Will he start the war? Will he be able to link up with his mother again, where she's not parading around in another person's body? What will happen to Aeneas the next time? All these questions and more will be answered next time we turn in, true believers. And until then, Excelsior.